Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Today's video I want to make mention of one of the signs of end of time and how this sign or this prophecy has come true in our time. Even this prophecy that I will mention to you, even the head of states, Muslim countries, they are now promoting this sign. They are now saying this is actually something okay with me as a head of state, and this is something really it's up to the individual to decide what they prefer, whether they want to be part of this sign or not. Indirectly I'm talking about. So what is it that I want to talk to you about? What is that sign I want to talk to you about? Now, I was making videos about end of time the other day, and I came across one sign, and I made a video on that about how ignorance will prevail, and a lot of you have commented and said yes, this is true. So this video I want to talk about another sign, and this is the sign that a lot of us we see every day. I made a video on this sign before, but when I came across this particular video of MBS Muhammad bin Salman, I'll play the video in a second. When I was watching this video, I was like, man, I need to talk about this again. Women today's time, they wear hijab as a fashion statement rather than a religious statement. To make it even worse, today we see head of states, they are encouraging their people to really wear whatever they want. It is to them not a big deal. It is their own choice. So what is that sign I want to talk to you about? Before I tell you exactly the sign, I want you to take a look at this video first, inshallah, because then you will have a good idea what I'm talking about. So let's take a look at this video. As you can see, this is a actually a music video. The video has music, so I'm not playing the audio right now, but let me play the audio.
Debate is still ongoing in Karnataka High Court and is brewing political controversies across the country. Campaigners asking for removal of hijab ban in educational institutions claim hijab is a mandate for women and girls according to Islamic laws. In an interesting development, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia has now ruled out the abaya rule and said women in the Islamic country do not have to wear head covers.
Okay, so I will not play the music because the rest of the video has a lot of music in it. What I'll do is I'll actually show you this statement. This actually was published on CBS 60 Minutes Australia, I believe, their Australian media outlet, and they mention about Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman talking about women in the kingdom, and he's saying basically they do not need to wear hijab or the black abaya, as you can read from the screen. The laws are very clear and stipulated in the laws of Sharia that women wear decent, respectful clothing like men, end quote. And this is exactly what MBS has said, and this is exactly what they have reported on. So the question is now, as you can see right behind me, obviously MBS is going to be the next king, for he is the de facto ruler anyways, for Saudi Arabia. Now, what is that sign I mentioned in the beginning that I will talk to you about? What is the prophecy that I wanted to share with you in this video? Now, before I tell you that one particular prophecy, and this prophecy I found long time ago, and I shared this prophecy with you guys many times, and I showed you guys pictures, images of our women wearing hijab in a fashion way, and like try to make them make them look more beautiful instead of observing religious modesty. So the Prophet he said that before the end of time, one of the alamat of the Sa'ah would be that women Nisa'un asiyatu kariyat mumilatun mailat. Rasulullah SAW, he said that at the end of time what you will see is that women wearing clothes yet they are dressed naked. Now, I'm not saying that this is something MBS is encouraging, but as we have seen in the past, and we have seen it many times, hijab has really become, or abaya has really become a symbol of fashion. The sisters in India, they are struggling, they are fighting for their rights. You also have another group of people like these sisters in India, and you also have this group of people like these people making or using hijab to represent a religion that is so pure, that is so clean, that is so uncorrupted. Yet these women, when they go to fashion industry, try to smear Islam, whether they know it or they do not, whether they do it knowingly or unknowingly. At the end of the day, when you bring Islam, when you bring religion to your profession like fashion, whatnot, then you definitely try to harm the Muslim and their image as the follower of a true monotheistic religion. And we have seen again, as I said, another group of people, another group of Muslim sisters in India, for example, and many other part of the world. There are a lot of good sisters who are fighting for it. Now, I want to let you know a few, one very interesting ayat from the Quran, and which you should know. And this ayat is talking about, according to the scholars, talking about Dajjal, and how the Dajjalic system would try to mislead a huge number of people. They will take those people with them and deviate them. But Allah Azza wa Jal in this ayat, I want to share this ayat with you. He said, he actually asked a question to the likes of Dajjal and his system. Do they think they can take my awliya as their awliya, my slaves, true slaves, as their awliya? أفحسب الذين كفروا أن يتخذوا من دوني أولياء. Allah Azza wa Jal asked this question. So the point here is that even though we have seen how this head of states, I'm not saying again MBS is promoting that, but unfortunately a lot of countries, they believe the way forward is to get rid of the traditional concept of hijab and bring in something new, bring in something that will fit the Western narrative about women's decency and their modesty. And this is really, wallahi, they are trying their best. So we have to understand this sign. If you see your sister or your mother, they are changing hijab, they are questioning why they should even wear hijab. If they are telling you they are not comfortable anymore, then you should know that they need to be consulted with, they need to be talked to, because all of us right now, dear my sisters, are under the influence of this Dajjalic system, which is pretty anti-Islam. Anything that Islam promotes, this system has a problem with that. So if you see your mother, sister having problem with wearing hijab, then we need to consult them and remind them from the Quran and Sunnah that indeed this is something very virtuous to do, and giving it up, doffing your hijab, hairscarf, is not going to bring any good for you or for your future generation. Another thing that I want to make mention of, which is the last point, is that Saudi Arabia right now, they are becoming very modern. MBS, he recently said that women, men are their equal. I do not know in which sense he said. There is a princess in Saudi Arabia. She said Islamic Sharia law that gives women half of the wealth compared to a man from the properties. It is something that need to be changed. She is promoting to change Sharia right now. That's what she has become. So the another point that actually, last point before I do that, another point, which is that end time woman dressed naked prophecy is fulfilled, but it is now true even in Muslim countries. We have seen how the Western countries women, they are becoming naked, and they're giving up their clothes. Even, there is a movement actually that says free the nipples, subhanallah. Basically, do not wear anything, become topless. uh, and this is a Western phenomenon, but it is changing. It is becoming an Eastern, Middle Eastern, Muslim phenomenon as well, because we will see. Hopefully, we don't, but if we don't stop this fitan, we will see Muslim women are asking to become topless and demand and believe this is their right. Obviously, these things will happen before the end of time, because as I said from the prophecy, Rasulullah said, Min shirari nasi man tudrikum sa'a wa hum ahya'un, that the worst of people that will leave before the Sa'ah would be the end of time. If you're new here, consider subscribing. See you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.